I have an antique optical device with wooden end pieces, a metal middle section, and glass lenses on both sides. It comes apart, and when you look through it, everything appears upside down. It's from Germany, circa 1870, and was inherited by my grandfather from his grandfather. Does anyone know what this might be or what it was used for? The object you've described is most likely an antique pocket microscope from Germany, circa 1870. These compact portable microscopes were popular during the 18th and 19th centuries and were primarily used by botanists, naturalists, and hobbyists for field observations. Their small size and portability made them ideal tools for examining specimens in outdoor environments or while traveling. The inverted image seen when looking through it is a typical feature of early microscopes and is caused by the lens configuration. When light passes through the convex lenses of a simple microscope, it crosses at the focal point, causing the image to flip upside down and reverse horizontally. I found these hand-forged crescent-shaped pliers that appear to be designed for cutting. The blades don't fully meet even when the tool is completely closed. There are no visible letters or numbers, but they are well crafted and seem sturdy. Could these be veterinary tools, or were they used for something else? The tool you've found is known as sugar nips, a type of pliers traditionally used for cutting and breaking sugar from large, solid sugar loaves. Before granulated sugar became common in the late 19th century, sugar was typically sold in hard conical loaves. These loaves were too dense to break apart by hand, so specialized tools like sugar nips were essential in households and shops. The crescent-shaped blades were designed to grip and cut small chunks of sugar from the loaf. The fact that the blades don't fully close is intentional, as sugar nips weren't meant for precision cutting, but rather for exerting enough force to crack and break off pieces of sugar. Sugar nips were common from the 17th to the 19th centuries, especially in European households where tea, coffee, and desserts were popular. I found a small bronze container with a screw cap and a small stick inside. It measures approximately 5 inches long, 2 inches wide, and 4 inches tall. On top, there's a loop with a small gap possibly designed to hold something thin, like a business card. I picked it up at a flea market. Does anyone know what this might be or what it was used for? The object you found appears to be a take-it pocket stove, a compact and portable gasoline stove popular in the mid-20th century. Manufactured by the Travelers Equipment Company in Grand Rapids, Michigan, this stove was specifically designed for campers, hikers, and travelers who needed a lightweight and efficient cooking solution in outdoor settings. The stove's design includes a screw cap that seals the fuel reservoir, preventing leaks and evaporation. Inside, an internal wick and coil system works to vaporize the gasoline efficiently, ensuring a consistent fuel flow for stable operation. To operate the stove, users would fill the reservoir with gasoline, allowing the wick to become fully saturated. When lit, the fuel vaporizes as it passes through the coil system, producing a steady, controlled flame suitable for cooking or boiling water in a variety of outdoor conditions. I found this object in an old church in rural Pennsylvania. It's about 9 inches long from base to tip, 2 inches wide, and weighs around 1 pound. It appears to be made of brass or bronze. There are inscriptions on both sides of the object. It looks like some kind of tool or fixture. Does anyone know what this could have been used for? What you've found is an oyster knife, specifically an early patented design by George Hufnagel from New Hope, Pennsylvania, dated March 24, 1868. This design was the second ever patented oyster knife in the United States. The knife was crafted to address a common problem with traditional oyster knives of the time. Older designs required the user to grasp the blade and then reverse it to use the handle as a hammer to break the oyster shell's edge. Hufnagel's design incorporated a crossbar at the handle's end, allowing it to be used as a hammer without the need to flip the knife, making the process more efficient and cleaner. The inscription Maltese you mentioned likely refers to Malta Island, a nearby industrial area in New Hope, Pennsylvania, suggesting that the knife was manufactured there. I found this all-metal object in a junkyard minivan under a seat. It's slightly larger than my open hand, made of hard metal that doesn't bend easily. The middle part spins, but it doesn't come out and there are no markings anywhere on it. It seems sturdy and might have an automotive purpose. Does anyone know what this could be? What you found seems to represent a symbol of Ochosi, one of the Orishas, divine spirits or deities in the Yoruba religion, particularly honored in Santeria. Orishas are powerful spiritual entities, often seen as intermediaries between humanity and the supreme god Olodumare. Ochosi is revered as the hunter, protector, and lord of justice, often called upon by those seeking fairness and guidance in legal matters. He is symbolized by a bow and arrow, representing precision, focus, and his exceptional hunting skills. In Santeria, tools representing Ochosi, such as small bows and arrows, are often paired with those of Ogun, another Orisha. Ogun, the Orisha of iron, war, and labor, wields a machete to carve paths through obstacles. Together, they form a powerful team. Ochosi identifies and targets the prey with his bow, while Ogun clears the path with his machete. These metal symbols are often placed on altars dedicated to Ochosi and Ogun, representing their unity and complementary powers. What is this strange metallic object? It's about 8 inches long, made from what seems to be aluminum or another lightweight metal. The design features a smooth, cylindrical body with 4 curved prongs on one end. It looks like it could be a specialized tool, or maybe part of a larger mechanical system. Any ideas about its purpose? The object you found is a rifle-launched grapnel hook, a specialized tool developed for combat engineering purposes. These devices are designed to be launched from rifles like the M16 or M4, allowing soldiers to clear obstacles such as tripwires or barbed wire from a safe distance. The concept of launching grappling hooks from firearms has been explored to enhance the safety and efficiency of military operations. By attaching the grapnel to the muzzle of a rifle and firing a blank cartridge, the hook can be propelled forward to engage and clear obstacles without exposing soldiers to direct danger. I found this unusual silver spoon in a Scandinavian home. It has an egg-shaped blade and a very short handle. The spoon features decorative imagery. Does anyone know what this type of spoon was intended for and what its purpose might have been? What you found is a caddy spoon, a specialized silver spoon historically used for measuring dried tea leaves from a tea caddy to a teapot. The caddy spoon emerged alongside the rising popularity of tea in Europe when tea was considered a luxury commodity and stored in secure containers called tea caddies. These spoons were designed to carefully measure and transfer precious tea leaves, ensuring no waste. Early caddy spoon designs were often inspired by shell shapes, reflecting tools found in tea chests imported from Asia. Over time, the designs evolved, incorporating intricate patterns, leaf shapes, and other decorative motifs. Caddy spoons were typically crafted from precious metals like silver, valued not only for their elegance, but also for preventing any contamination of the delicate tea flavors. Prominent silversmiths, such as the Bateman family, became renowned for their exquisite caddy spoon designs. I found an unusual object with movable parts attached to springs and a small mirror near a crank. I can't find anything that indicates a manufacturer, year of assembly, or any identifying marks. This leads me to believe it might be handmade and never part of mass production. Does anyone know what this might be or what it could have been used for? What you found is a snuff tobacco machine designed for enjoying powdered tobacco through the nose. While it looks functional, it's actually more of a gag gift or novelty item crafted to add humor to social gatherings. These machines are rooted in Bavaria's long tradition of snuff-taking, where powdered tobacco played an important cultural role. The design includes a small mirror for aiming, a crank with a brush for cleaning the nose, and often a drawer for storing snuff tobacco with a measuring spoon included. To use it, tobacco is placed in the designated spots. The user aligns their nostrils with the help of the mirror and then pulls a lever to deliver the snuff. If anything goes wrong, the brush and crank are there for cleanup. I found these vintage metal pliers with several markings on them. From what I understand, Mars refers to the manufacturer, and 1912 might indicate the year of production. The pliers measure about 5 inches wide and 8.5 inches long. Does anyone know what these pliers were specifically used for? What you found are saw-set pliers, a specialized tool widely used in the early 20th century to adjust the teeth of a handsaw. Over time, a saw's teeth would bend, dull, or lose their alignment, making cutting difficult and inefficient. These pliers allowed craftsmen to carefully bend each tooth outward in alternating directions, creating a slightly wider kerf, the groove left by the saw in the wood. This adjustment prevented the saw blade from binding in the cut and ensured a smoother, more efficient sawing process. In an era when replacing a saw blade was costly, sharpening and resetting the teeth were standard maintenance practices, and tools like saw-set pliers were indispensable in woodworking shops and households. However, as mass production made saws more affordable and disposable, the use of these tools gradually declined. I found this nautical-related brass item mounted in a wooden box. It looks somewhat like a compass, but it doesn't point north. This item was among my grandfather's belongings. He served in the Navy during World War II, and his father was in the Coast Guard before that. Does anyone know what this object is and what it was used for? What you found is a Pliers, a navigational instrument that resembles a compass but lacks magnetic properties. Unlike a traditional compass, a Pliers doesn't indicate magnetic north. Instead, it's used to measure relative bearings of objects from the ship's heading, allowing mariners to determine the angular distance between the vessel's bow and points of interest, such as landmarks, buoys, or other ships. The Pliers has a long and rich history, with its origins tracing back to ancient navigation practices. The instrument is said to be named after Pliers, who served as Hannibal's pilot around 203 BC. Additionally, ancient Polynesian navigators used similar tools, relying on the consistent positions of rising and setting stars to guide their voyages across vast stretches of the Pacific Ocean. In practical use, a Pliers consists of a circular card marked with degrees, mounted in such a way that it remains fixed relative to the ship's heading. Attached sighting vanes or a telescope allow for precise alignment with observed objects. By measuring the angle between the ship's bow and a target, navigators can plot positions, check compass deviations, and assist in course setting. This was especially useful when magnetic compasses proved unreliable or when sailing through regions with magnetic anomalies. During World War II, Plieres were standard equipment on naval vessels. They played an essential role in convoy navigation, coastal piloting, and artillery targeting, offering reliable guidance in critical situations. I noticed a tall green metal structure beside the road on Palisades Drive in Pacific Palisades, California. It has alternating rows of square holes at the top, but no markings. Does anyone know what it is and what it's for? The green metal structure you described is most likely a methane vent. Los Angeles sits atop vast oil fields, and vents like this one are commonly used to safely release methane gas that naturally accumulates underground as a byproduct of oil extraction. These vents help prevent dangerous gas buildup, which could otherwise lead to explosions or other hazards. A well-known example of natural oil seepage is the La Brea tar pits, where tar and oil continue to bubble up to the surface. In some parts of the city, asphalt and parking lots and sidewalks can remain soft due to tar oozing from below. In earlier times, homeowners in neighborhoods like Beverly Hills even received monthly checks for the oil extracted from beneath their land. I found an unusual box with compartments in the lid and a felt-lined interior. When fully opened, the box is slightly sloped, and there's another compartment on the opposite side that cannot be directly accessed, but has an opening into it. Does anyone know what this box was intended for and how it might have been used? What you've found is an antique writing slope, also known as a writing box or lap desk, a popular item in the late 18th and 19th centuries. These portable desks provided a convenient and ergonomic surface for writing, especially for travelers, military officers, or individuals without access to a full-sized writing desk. When fully opened, the slightly sloped surface created a comfortable angle for writing, making long writing sessions easier. Writing slopes were indispensable in an era when letter writing was a primary means of communication, and their design reflects both practicality and craftsmanship. In the last video, I asked you to guess what this object might have been used for. Many of you came up with some interesting ideas, and some of you were spot on. This item is actually a telephone dialer, which was used with rotary dial phones. These phones became popular after the introduction of the rotary phone, designed by Henry Dreyfuss in the 1950s. Thank you to everyone who participated and shared your guesses. A special shout out to John Doe the Troll for being the first to correctly identify it. Alright, it's time for another mystery item. Take a look at this shiny metal sphere with 4 telescopic arms. What do you think it might have been used for? Leave your guesses in the comments and I'll reveal the answer in the next video. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Your support motivates me to create more videos. See you next time.